So, as many of you have probably already seen, right, Zelenskyy, the president for Ukraine, has come to Washington, D.C., has visited the White House to meet with Donald Trump, to meet with J.D. Vance. Marco Rubio was there. A lot of people were in that room. It did not go well. And from reports, basically, Zelenskyy was kicked out of the White House. And negotiations, or whatever that meeting was supposed to be about, broke down. And that's it. And now reports are saying out of the White House that Trump is considering withdrawing all military aid from Ukraine and he's considering his options, etc., etc. I want to focus on the meeting itself, and I want to focus on it from our side / perspective, because I just feel like I can speak on that more than the Ukraine side. But stay with me. Like let me get it out. Stay with me. Okay, so one thing for sure is that when you have these wars that are kind of, in essence, a proxy war in a way for the United States, the country we're fighting through is always going to get screwed over. And it's a really shitty aspect of war in general, especially a war like that. It's happened throughout a lot of wars we've fought, and it's very disgusting, right? It's the one of the many disgusting aspects of any type of war, especially one such as this. This was a setup. Like, with that being said, this was a setup. There was no good faith coming into this discussion. It was obvious from, I'm seeing clips, I'm seeing all these things just like you guys are saying it. And Zelenskyy had no shot from the moment he stepped on U.S. soil. Trump greeted him with disrespect. Trump and J.D. Vance continued to disrespect him. I mean, all the clips I'm seeing, I'm from what Lindsey Graham and all these other people were saying, it's like, oh, Zelenskyy came in and disrespected America. Trump said Zelenskyy came in, disrespected the United States of America, all this stuff. From all the clips that I am seeing that they are giving us from this heated exchange, right? I don't see the only disrespect I see is from our side, me being U.S. citizen, our side, in terms of, in relation to this, to that exchange, to this meeting, because I thought the whole point was to seek a peaceful way to end this war. That's what I thought. From what I read, I thought this meeting was to help usher in a new peace between Russia and Ukraine. It's just constant digs throughout the whole thing. Someone talking about, oh, why are you not? Why can't you wear a suit? Why do you not own a suit? Blah blah. What are you talking? Elon Musk walks into the cabinet meeting, in which he's not a part of, dressed like a Walmart Tony Stark, and no one has. And I'm not talking about fly Tony Stark. I'm talking about Tony Stark when he just throws some shit on to go do something random. That version of Tony Stark. He wears a blazer and a t-shirt and goes into the White House and goes into a cabinet meeting, which he is not a part of. And no one says anything to him. Someone who's actually fighting for their country's best interests comes in, and that's all you like. This is asinine. This is truly asinine. Because if there was no good faith in this meeting, there was no, hey, we came in here to try to figure something out, or we came in here to discuss what was happening in the previous administration and what our expectations are in this administration. I mean, I'm talking about some bare minimum things. I'm talking about let's actually see some progress towards this peace that Trump keeps talking about. The hot button keywords this man keeps talking about. None of them was none of them was truly discussed. This meeting was absolutely terrible. And not just, and for a second, this is why I wanted to more speak on the United States side, because it is a lot of implications besides of just what is happening in Ukraine. You look around the globe, our allies looking at us kind of crazy right now. Looking at us like, yo, America's actually insane. They actually do not care. They don't care. They just care about swinging the metaphorical big dick around. And that's it. That's all they're doing. There's no tact. There's no diplomacy. There's not a speck, a single speck of international relations. Trump ran that meeting like how I run the bar at a FanDuel bar event. He was speaking to that guy like they were shooting dice. That's crazy. I've seen people who bet their mortgage on Texas Hold'em at a casino at 2 a.m. have more decorum than what our commander-in-chief and his Robin demonstrated today in front of the entire international community. And that's really sad. That's really sad. Again, I'm not even saying that, going back to the proxy stuff, Trump's saying all this stuff about Ukraine's not being honest, Zelensky's lying, then you be honest too, my guy. You be honest too. Be honest and say, this is, to us, in our viewpoint, this is a proxy war. This is why the previous administration, or why we would want to continue to offer any type of aid to you, is because you are doing damage to someone we deem an enemy or someone we deem not an ally of ours, and you are in direct war with these people and we are not. So we are going to use you to weaken them any way we can. That would have been a truthful dialogue. That would have been a truthful conversation to be had. I'm not saying right or wrong. I'm saying let's start actually making progress, because a lot of the key words, a lot of the phrases thrown today was there is no progress because there's no honesty, and it's all on Zelensky's side, it's all on Ukraine's side, and I just don't see that as the case. I also see our side on some bullshit. That's, we call a spade a spade. I see our side really conducting bullshit. The clips, I don't know how you look at any of those clips, any of those videos, and say that Trump was just doing everything right, that JD Vance was acting like a human being. Like there was not one aspect of that video that showed actual diplomacy. It just seemed like two people who are businessmen not even trying to conduct a business deal. Like they're trying to strong arm someone and belittling someone into accepting a shitty deal that doesn't benefit anyone besides the people who are trying to damn near rob you blind. That's what it seemed like. Anyone who's done business at any level, whether you're an eBay salesman or a Fortune 500 salesman, when you conduct enough deals of any kind, you get a sense for what people are doing. You get a sense for it. You get a sense for bullshit. You can do math. You do basic math. You know when you're getting fucked over. You know when all these things are happening. I did not respect that. I did not respect that. There was 0 point of this man coming from Ukraine over here to talk to you at all, if that's what you were going to do. That could have been done over email. That could have been done with a Zoom call. You wasted his time. You wasted his time. You wasted your own time. There was not 1 second of today where they wanted to genuinely have a conversation with Zelenskyy and get somewhere. Even if it was just a couple of inches, that's more than where it was yesterday, and that's what we need, and there was nothing. Now we're just having a bunch of, we want to do this, we might do that, it's dragging our feet, and it's weird, because it just makes us seem, from that meeting, from those clips, like we are a Russian puppet state. That's what I got from those clips. That we are a Russian puppet state is what I got from those clips. I got someone who, outside of explicitly saying so, I got a president of the United States of America that seemed, I'm choosing my words very carefully for a reason, seemed like he sided with Russia, or at least Russia's thought process of this, more than Ukraine's. That's what I got from these clips. That's what I got from the multiple responses and reports outside the White House. It doesn't seem like someone who has anyone's best interest at heart except his own. Not America, not Russia, not Ukraine, his own. And what is it? His massive ego that couldn't even fit in the Oval Office if he tried. J.D. Vance is he's a piece of work. That's me putting it very mildly. He's a piece of work. This is how bad it got. If you rewatch the clips with Marco Rubio, and I dislike Marco Rubio more than I could possibly demonstrate to you. Even Marco Rubio was sitting there with a look on his face of, what the fuck are we doing? What is this? Why are we wasting our time? What is this? This is a waste of time. This isn't doing anything. This is a terrible idea. This is disrespectful. Whatever Marco Rubio's beliefs are on that situation, his face said that this is a waste of everyone in this room's time, and I could be doing other shit. If this is what we're going to do. If this is what we had them over to do, this was a waste of time. Because this isn't a dialogue, this isn't a conversation. It's a bunch of people in a room attacking Zelenskyy on how he's dressed and throwing allegations. And then J.D. Vance doing what I do when I don't know what the fuck's going on in a situation, but I'm in a room where I probably shouldn't be in, and bullshitting and just saying shit. And Zelenskyy had to fact check him. And it's like, that's embarrassing. You didn't go into this thing with no notes. And they're like, come on, man. Like, it felt like America's ability to use soft power is dwindling every single day this man's in office. It's dwindling. It's getting to the point, and this is probably a reach, but it's getting to a point where I feel as if we are going in the direction of being isolated. I forgot the word, isolation. Like we're putting the country in isolation, basically, is what I'm trying to say. We're putting a country in isolation like Japan was for years upon years upon years upon years. That's where it feels like it's going, because it feels like every single foreign policy, anything he does foreign, it feels more and more like he's isolating the United States, and he's making more enemies than not. Now, there are things in there like proper payments, and make sure that, America's not footing the bill all the time, and these different things that, when we start seeing receipts and we start seeing exactly how the breakdown of some of these things are going, that's a different conversation that we can have, and an appropriate conversation, and should be had with diplomacy, understanding, knowledge, and tact. And he lacks all of them. And he treats America like his Trump Tower. And we've seen how that went. And I just don't know, at what point do we say enough? Now, what can we do about it? Nothing really. It's just going to be long 4 years at this point. I mean, people have already spoken, but I'm just I'm just very concerned for our country. I've never been this concerned for our country in a long time, and not just and it's because of the leadership. The leadership is asinine. It's not good. It's not good because this is not how you get to the a better future. This doesn't lead to a better tomorrow for anybody. This leads to chaos, destruction, and a lot of poverty. There are hundreds of thousands of people who are losing their jobs every week because of this man. In this country, in America, the United States of America, who have lost their jobs, who put trust in the institution of this country, who worked for this country more than many people have in their lifetime and lost their jobs. And have been labeled so that they can't even claim unemployment. They can't claim anything to help get them on their feet after putting that time in and serving the country in the way they have working for the United States government. That's the person that y'all vote for. That's what I'm confused about. That's what I'm confused about. For a country who always praises their veterans and praises people who work for the United States government in the United States' best interest, it seems like no one hates them more than y'all. And that's what I'm confused about. Whether it's the policies you vote for or let pass, or the people you vote for that actively work against veterans every single day, I don't understand. And government workers who are office workers who get shit done, you guys vote against your own self-interest every day. And it's insane. And this is what I was basically worried about most, is his lack of diplomacy and his massive ego will get people killed. It will get Americans who are overseas, mind their damn business, who did or didn't vote for him, in trouble. Have us looking in a certain type of way. Whatever that swagger cachet, that aura cachet that he thinks America has overseas, he actively destroys it every single day he opens his mouth. This was not in good faith, bro. This was a waste of time. This was this was an ego trip for all of them. They bullied the dude. They bullied the dude. This man is fighting for his people's lives. Literally. People have died. Cities have been ruined. And this man does not give a shit. He doesn't. And it's insane. And everything that comes out of this man's mouth is nothing but disrespectful, hatred, and ignorance. Every time. And now he's doing it to people who could potentially be really good allies, and people who clearly got invaded, who clearly are the victim. And he's making them. He flew or had to do fly away over here to basically chastise him and then make him kiss the ring. That's what he wanted. And no matter what Zelenskyy did, I'm in the camp of no matter what Zelenskyy did, Trump was not. It was going to be the exact same outcome of we're going to probably move. We're debating completely removing military aid. It was bullshit. It was bullshit to watch. I couldn't even imagine. I can't even fathom what it must have been like for my Ukrainian friends to watch this. To go into this meeting hoping for some type of progress, hoping for some type of understanding so we can get to the progress, if nothing else. And you got met with a disingenuous asshole who did not care. Garbage. Absolute garbage.